This girl is a left-handed person. She was quickly scribbling her answers on the answer key. In less than 5 minutes, all the answers were completed. The teacher just yawned. She wrote down all the answers on the eraser. Then she looked at the student in the back seat. She took off her shoes, threw the eraser in, and kicked it into the back seat. Then she kicked it to the back seat. Suddenly, the teacher got up to patrol. Lisa immediately retracted her feet. Luckily, the teacher didn't notice. The girl in the back seat immediately took off her shoe and kicked it to Lisa. But she accidentally kicked too hard. She kicked it into the aisle. Lisa panicked. The teacher was about to find out. Lisa decided to organize the test paper. She immediately got up and put on her shoes and handed in her paper early, not forgetting to cover the girl in the back seat to pick up her answers. In this way, a simple cheating process was successfully completed. The first ever 3.87 score was achieved by Chennai. Lisa is a top student that all schools are looking for. Even the principal begged her to come to school. Others have to pay tuition. The principal even paid her salary for coming to school. It didn't take long. Morning Glory introduces Lisa to her boyfriend, Corky. Corky is a rich kid, but a dumb student. He immediately asked Lisa to help him cheat too. Not for free. $3,000 a course. 13 courses in all. And if you can, 5 more friends. 2. That's $234,000. Faced with such a temptation, Lisa agreed. But it's easy to cheat one-on-one at the front and back tables. Now it's 5 people. Something had to be done. Inadvertently, when Lisa was playing the piano, she had an idea, using different rhythmic piano gestures to communicate the 4 options of ABCD. All she had to do was play with her fingers on the table. The other people can get the correct answer according to her gestures. In less than an hour, $230,000 came in. For the first time, Lisa felt that it was easy to make money. Then she started her own piano class. More and more students came to the lessons. But no surprise, an accident happened. During a school-wide exam, another school bully emerged. It's a final exam. A boy is looking at the test paper of the girl next door. Teddy, the school bully, despises this behavior. When handing in the test paper, also forgot to remind the girl. The girl next door is peeking. He doesn't know that this girl already makes $1 million a month by cheating for others. In this exam room, she has 25 clients. As long as the test is completed, she can earn at least $100,000. This is a school-wide exam with 2 sets of papers. The students who paid her a lot of money to cheat were very scared. 1 person in 1 exam. How can 1 person complete 2 sets of papers in 1 exam? But Lisa didn't panic at all. She finished the first set of papers in just 10 minutes, and then used her finger as a code to. She passed the answers to the first group of students. In 1 swipe, 13 students handed in their papers at the same time. Lisa's 40,000 yuan arrived. When they surrounded the teacher, Lisa immediately exchanged the second set of papers with the classmate on her right. But it took too much time to pass the answers. There was not much time left. Lisa had to go into rage mode. Luckily, she was able to finish the problem in the last 5 minutes. Although she was warned by the teacher for taking too long to deliver the answers, she was able to get the 100,000 yuan. While everyone was rejoicing, the accident happened. Teddy reported to the principal that someone had cheated in the exam room. He also saw the solution to all the questions on Lisa's draft paper. The principal got angry and cancelled all of Lisa's scholarships. If it happens again, she will be expelled from school. Faced with her father's severe reprimand, Lisa's heart was full of remorse. Soon, a new semester arrives. Morning Glory and her boyfriend Corky are planning to study abroad, but the prerequisite is to pass the SAT. The SAT is a global test. The test is taken at the same time all over the world. It is impossible to cheat on this test. Lisa just wanted to refuse. The Morning Sun directly shouted out 600,000. Lisa suddenly felt that she could do something about it. In the lobby of the hotel, Lisa was inspired by the clock on the wall. The different countries meant that there was a time difference. Lisa only had to finish her exams in Sydney. Then there were 4 hours to provide answers to the Morning Sun in Thailand. Corky also took the opportunity to get 30 students. Each had to pay $250,000 in advance. The total amount was $7.5 million. Before the exam begins, all students received 4 2B pencils. The barcode on the pencils is from thick to thin. Is the answer ABCD? The number next to the barcode is the answer to the fill-in-the-blank question. As for the essay, the title will be provided invited directly. Write your own content. The entire cheating process. The most difficult part is the answers. There are 100 multiple choice questions on the SAT. With Lisa's ability, she can only remember 50 of them. So now we need to find another shooter to assist. The only person who could do that was Teddy. Teddy's family is very poor, although he had been sent to study abroad on the basis of his ability. But with the lure of $1 million from Lisa, Teddy, who once despised cheating with a passion, agreed. So in a room of only 2 square meters, a cheating scheme that shocked the whole of Asia began. It was an SAT cheating incident that shocked the whole Asia. This girl is the shooter, will direct a cheating scheme for thousands of people in Sydney. The SAT is a global test that it will be administered simultaneously around the world at the same time. Taking advantage of the time difference, she would complete all the questions in Sydney. Then she would send the answers to Chensi in Thailand. On a 2B pencil, she sells them to any student who intends to cheat. Before the test started, Lisa and Teddy were the first 2 students to rush into the toilet. They hid the cheating tool, a cell phone, in the tank of the toilet. The first test begins. 52 multiple choice questions. The answer begins. Teddy finished all the questions before Lisa did. Began to memorize the first half of the answers. Soon, Lisa also finished the questions. Began to memorize the answers. Time for the first test. 10-minute intermission. The 2 of them immediately rushed to the bathroom. Using their cell phones, they started to send the first part of the answers to Thailand. But Lisa had already sent all the answers. Teddy was late in sending the last 5 questions. He asked for an additional $1 million or the deal would be stopped. Otherwise, the transaction was stopped. Corky was furious and scolded Teddy, but in the end, he had no choice but to agree. The first shipment of 2B pencils was successfully shipped. The barcodes on them were all replaced with answers. Soon, the second test began. The 2 finished the questions very skillfully, began to recite the answers. As soon as the time was up, they immediately rushed to the toilet. But then the accident happened. Teddy for a long time to occupy the toilet. The examiner's attention was drawn. The examiner told Teddy to open the door immediately. Although Teddy sent out all the answers and destroyed all the relevant chat records, but he accidentally dropped the tile on his knee on the floor. Teddy was still exposed. Lisa was also suspected by the examiner, but she secretly hid the phone in her shoe. The first thing that happened was that she was able to escape. Seeing Teddy caught next door, Lisa was so scared that she almost cried out. When she was returning to the examination room, when she saw that the examiner was searching her body, Lisa had to pretend to drink water and stuffed her phone into the sink. Seeing that Teddy didn't come in for a long time, it meant that Lisa had to memorize all the answers by herself. To memorize all the answers, but nervousness and fear, and she couldn't concentrate for a while. Suddenly, the piano reappeared. She came up with a way to. The answers to 100 questions were turned into a single piece of music. To speed things up, she snapped her own throat and then she pretended to be sick and left the exam room early. But the male examiner who grabbed Teddy was on Lisa's case. 2. Lisa had to dodge the examiner while sending her answers. She finally sent all the answers before the examiner caught her. She also used milk and cookies to fool the examiner. In the end, Lisa was found not guilty, but Teddy was unfortunately disqualified from taking the SAT for life. The student in Thailand managed to get all the answers. Upon returning home, Lisa gave up her share of the money. She also made a clean break with Chensi, but she saw her father who came to pick her up. Lisa then realized she was really wrong. A few days later, Teddy invited Lisa to his house. Teddy said he had a $10 million project and needed Lisa's continued cooperation as the shooter. If she doesn't cooperate, he would expose all the SAT cheating. But Lisa refused because just yesterday, Lisa and her father had already turned themselves into the SAT. She didn't want to make the same mistake again. This is a film based on a true story.